deal with the US and the UK, Australia has unveiled a plan to acquire a fleet of up to 8 nuclear-powered submarines, forecast to cost up to $368 billion between now and the mid-2050s. Australia will spend $9 billion over the next 4 years. This year, Australian military and civilian personnel will embed with US and UK navies, including within both countries' submarine industrial bases. We have more in this report.
US, UK and Australia have unveiled details of their plan to create a new fleet of nuclear-powered submarines aimed at countering China's influence in the Indo-Pacific region. Under the AUKUS Pact, Australia is to get its first nuclear-powered subs from the United States. The Allies will also work to create a new fleet using cutting-edge tech, including UK-made Rolls-Royce reactors. Beijing has strongly criticized a significant naval deal. Its foreign ministry on Tuesday accused the three nations of walking further and further down the path of error and danger. But US President Joe Biden said the deal was aimed at bolstering peace in the region and stressed the submarines will be nuclear-powered, not nuclear-armed.
In the Indo-Pacific, where so much of our shared future will be written.
Speaking alongside the UK and Australian Prime Ministers in San Diego, California, Mr. Biden said the deal would not jeopardize Australia's commitment to being a nuclear-free country. For Australia, it is a major upgrade to the US allies' military capabilities. The country becomes just the second after the UK to receive Washington's elite nuclear propulsion technology. President Biden said all three countries were committed to ensuring the Indo-Pacific region would remain free and open. He also made a pledge of $4.6 billion to expanding the U.S. submarine construction capacity and improving maintenance of its current nuclear-powered Virginia-class submarines.
A misunderstanding on this critical point. These subs are
Australia's Prime Minister said the plan marked the biggest single investment in Australia's defence capability in all of its history. The UK PM said that in the 18 months since the AUKUS alliance was unveiled, the challenges of global stability had only grown.
That we strengthen the resilience of our own countries.
As part of his visit to the United States, Mr. Sunak also pledged to increase defence spending by nearly £5 billion over the next 2 years to counter threats from hostile states. The AUKUS Security Alliance, announced in September 2021, has repeatedly drawn criticism from China. But the three Western countries say the security deal is aimed at shoring up stability in the Indo-Pacific. While all three leaders have stressed how the deal will strengthen their cooperation, it hasn't been without its political fallout.
Talk this through by speaking with an international affairs analyst, Paul Ejime. Thank you so much for joining us on Word Now. Let me quickly get your initial reaction to the AUKUS plan to create a new fleet of nuclear-powered submarines that is aimed at countering China's influence in the Indo-Pacific region.
So, thank you for having me. I think this is part of the contradictions you have in the modern world, where you have poverty, you have hunger, and yet you have the advanced countries talking about how to increase, weapons, investment in, how they will, play each other in terms of modern, warfare equipment. But it's also part of it's not surprising if you remember the terrain, because when each part, it goes back to the Cold War era, when all the big powers are fighting for influence to see who will outmatch the other in terms of acquiring weapons. But here again is a world that is talking about non-proliferation of nuclear arsenal. And yet you have this type of deal happening now. Initially, France has tried to kick against it because it was going against another deal that involved the French. Now it is Beijing, China, that is kicking against it, because in the Indo-China area, China is seen to be doing in Taiwan and other places. It is also doing the same thing. So it is not what the world needs at this time. But, you know, the defense industry, they have to exist. Look at Ukraine and Russia. It's the same thing, where you will expect that the world will be seeking for peace. No, you know, NATO and America, they are not talking about peace in Ukraine. They're only talking about how they will send more weapons to Ukraine to be able to fight Russia. So it is a world of contradictions.
Right.
And this deal only goes to, you know, reinforce that. Right. And for people in third world or developing countries, they will be asking what is going on, what is happening.
Right, because of our time, Mr. Ejime, we're actually out of time. Let me quickly, cram this question in. The AUKUS Security Alliance was announced in September 2021 and has repeatedly drawn criticism from China. What do you think are the potential risks and challenges associated with this deal, and how will they be addressed by the participating countries? Very quickly, because of the time.
I think those who are going for non-proliferation of nuclear weapons should continue to underline it to these countries that this is not what is needed. Now it is, let us talk about how to end hunger, how to end poverty, how to bring peace to the world. But understand that, you know, they are deploying nuclear weapons is far-fetched. It's only what they call deterrent, that when one side gets it, the other side will want to balance. But that is only enriching the defense industry. It does not help the world in any way, but those who the interest in the defense industry. Right. So this is what the world can ill afford. Let us talk peace. Let the world bring peace. Absolutely. Let's invest in human, not about how to kill off humanity. Absolutely. It doesn't help.
Right. What is actually sacrosanct in the world, what the world needs now, is peace and tranquility. Thank you very kindly, an international affairs analyst, Paul Ejime. Thank you so much, always.
Thank you for having me.